Jenny, obviously you've worn many hats within the swimming community. Competitor, coach, now movement scientist.
Yep.
Why is this such a valuable tool for the sport of swimming?
Sure. As a swimmer, you're always going up against the battle of what you think you're doing versus what everyone else sees that you're doing. It's all about having a good feel for the water. So if there is now a readily accessible tool that will help a swimmer get immediate feedback about what they're actually doing, that can be the difference between learning good technique versus practicing poor technique, which then in turn goes into racing.
Right.
Are you going to have a good race that's the most effective, powerful race that you have within you, or are you going to have bad habits that are standing in your way?
Practice makes perfect versus perfect practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. As a coach, now all of a sudden I have a tool that could actually be good for all of my swimmers. We can use this to see if our practices are effective. Are we having good training methods, or are we actually starting to overtrain our swimmers? You know, are their shoulder mechanics starting to become poor because they're tired? Are our different drills really forming good habits? And I can now see what's going on underwater. I could stand on deck for hours at a practice, and yet I still can't see what's going on beneath the surface. There's a little bit of a gray area there.
Yes, but when you have the opportunity to have that 360 view,
absolutely,
and then also be able to slow things down again, you know, even in the clinic, we try to affect movement and then facilitate new movement.
Right.
So something that might not be moving effectively, we do a hands-on manual procedure.
That's right.
And then we try to see if that hands-on manual procedure provided the effect that we were actually looking for. And that's
right.
Another benefit of this.
Very big difference between a pre-season swimmer versus a swimmer that's now tapering for competition. The interesting thing about a swim season is that it could go up to 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. And then maybe you get a couple weeks off and then you start again in the summer for a lot of swimmers. It's a year-round sport. But the nice thing about it being a screening tool is that at the beginning of a season, a coach now has a readily accessible tool that they can take a DVD from and see where their swimmers are at. They can see where they're weak. We can help them see where they're weak. And then maybe a couple months down the road, once the hard practices are really going, the swimmers are tired and they're still trying to train very hard, we can see if there are different biomechanical signs of fatigue that maybe that coach can't see on deck. We can go in and take a look at their shoulders. Maybe within those couple of months, their shoulders got much stronger and they're working even better. Maybe during those months, a couple biomechanical changes occurred. Maybe their hand entry isn't right. Maybe their elbow is dropping, and now that's affecting their stroke.